This week on the segment is pretty hot, I'm telling you. I've got a Fredo. My heart's palpitating. We've got Mr. Tony Halikos in the house. Welcome to the segment. Hey guys, welcome to the segment. This week is an absolute cracker. I've got a good mate, good friend, Mr. Tony Halikos. I call him the 007 of the manufacturing industry. Welcome, Uncle Tony.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
How are you, mate?
I'm good, very good.
Now,
thank you.
I've got to declare there is a little bit of a conflict of interest because we are neighbours. I also was there a long time ago when you got married. One of the best weddings in the history of the Northern Territory. But listen, you can't be a Northern Territory resident and not know the Halikos brand or have heard of your dad and what he's done up here in the Northern Territory in the construction world. So obviously you can put you right in the hot seat. Give me the history, the quick history lesson of the family.
I guess both my grandparents and family started arriving to Darwin in the early 50s and 60s, both as builders and tradies and concreters. Story of one of my grandfathers is actually amazing because he was on his way to Perth and he got asked to stay and do some concreting in...
He was just passing
through.
through.
He was at the airport, ended up staying, and he stayed and we all basically stayed, or obviously the rest is history, and it all started from there.
So Dad's been in construction his whole life?
He's been in construction his whole life.
Yep. And did you have any desire to follow in your dad's footsteps? Obviously, he's been very, very successful up here in the NT. Was there a great desire for young Tony to get out there and get on the tools and follow Dad?
Not necessarily in the early days, no. Definitely not at 18. But everything eventuates the way it eventuates, and I'm pretty grateful for the way things are.
So what did you think you were going to do?
Oh, mate, I had heaps of great ideas.
You're going to be a rock star.
Yeah, I had great ideas at 18 and things I wanted to do and could have done and want to at least try. But no, working for the family's been really good, so very grateful for it.
No, awesome. So I know that you weren't handed anything on a silver spoon at all. You had to work your way through the company, but you're in a very, very... I guess, influential position in the company at the moment. Tell me the brands you're managing at the moment.
At the moment, I'm just the general manager of Crab Claw Island, NT Fastners, and Steeline GRP.
Just the general manager. Just a few responsibilities. Don't play that humility card with us.
Lots of feathers in the cap.
So tell us, Crab Claw Island, so that's just tourism, hospitality?
Yeah, it's a beautiful little resort, 110 k's out of Darwin that... basically set up for locals and for families, and it's very popular at the moment, which is really good.
How's that going with COVID? Is that going all right?
It was definitely difficult the first 2 quarters with COVID, but obviously, the last 2 have been really good with the government's tourism voucher scheme and all the locals obviously having limited places to go. It's been very popular, and obviously we've got all our staff there having fantastic demand with everyone going there and visiting and just having a break from Darwin.
Yeah, good. And NTF, tell me what is NTF?
NTF is a building supply company. So it's basically everything from construction to civil to mining. We basically supply all myriads of products. Obviously there's power tools and silicons and sealants, and it started off just selling roof screws and screws to the general industry. The original name was NT Fasters. Now we've rebranded as NTF, Construction Specialist. So basically, it's basically over 55,000 product lines we hold, and anything that's required, bolts, nuts, you're a customer, so it's pretty broad.
Yeah. And then we've got, last but not least, Steelline.
Yeah.
And that's a franchise that you bought into, because that's a national brand, correct?
It's a national brand, but it's actually not a franchise. It's more of a buying group. So we're basically the largest independently owned buying group in Australia for roofing metal products. Yeah. We're all independently owned. We all do our own thing, but we purchased collectively under one banner, the Steeline Group. And basically anything that's blue scope or a blue scope product, I'm the sole blue scope distributor. We fabricate, manufacture, roll it. So we buy the coils, we buy the slits, and we make roofing products. We make trusses and wall frames, purlins for your commercial applications and sheds, fascia, gutter, anything that's metal basically.
And it 100% is manufacturing. That's what it does.
That's what it does.
Yeah, got it. So obviously, every time you turn on the news, pretty much there's a manufacturer going out of business in Australia, or they're shipping their manufacturing abroad. Here you are in the Northern Territory, which is, I imagine the challenges are enormous being a manufacturer. What are some of the challenges that you have being a manufacturer so far away from the rest of the world?
Oh, look, manufacturing's tough anywhere in Australia, realistically, because your competition is always an international, normally, or a multinational for me specifically, being a local. The challenges for being in Darwin as a manufacturer are logistics. Down south, anyone that wants a coil or wants a product can generally wait between 48 and 72 hours. I've got to wait between 3 to 5 weeks, sometimes 10, for certain coils and certain products to arrive. So you've got to hold a very large stock holding. You've got to have a very good stock control and forecast of your customers' requirements and the product requirements and of what you're selling and what you're manufacturing. So that's the secret to basically...
So you could go broke very easily in manufacturing.
You can go broke, or you can even not be able to supply for months if you don't have that product here. And that's what the town basically needs. And there's certain times of the year and certain months of the year that manufacturing does take off and is generally... we used to call it the peak period, which is before the wet. And then once it does start raining, the manufacturing industry is very dangerous. It doesn't matter if there's work there or not, it does slow down. It has to, because people just can't get out there and put that piece of iron up or that truss up because it's raining.
So clearly, so all of those businesses fit under the Halikos Group, is that correct?
Correct, yeah.
Got it. So clearly, Tony, and this is hard, because Aussies, we're not great at patting ourselves on the back, but clearly the Halikos brand has done something right in our local town. In your opinion, what has it done right?
Look, the Halikos brand and its very diversified group of companies and is in a myriad of industries. It's diversified, so it's in hospitality, it's in construction, it's in development, it's in manufacturing, it's in retail. It offers services. Its strength is that it's diversified. It's vertically integrated. It can always basically prop another section up, and that's our strength. And everything that we have done to continue that strength, and by doing that, you're reinvesting back locally. So as you diversify, you're reinvesting what this one made into this one to do something locally. That re-employs more people, that gives more people opportunities. It purchases a product locally, or a machine locally, or a car locally. And then each of those entities then supports a community group or a charity locally. Dad is a huge charity supporter and organisation supporter, and then it doesn't just come from just the Helix Group. Construction support products, community groups and charities, I support them individually. So there's times where I know I've sponsored Southern District Football Club one year, and I know that Dad and Shane sponsored the Waratahs, and they were both in the grand final. We had both our logos, and it was like, sorry.
Welcome to Darwin.
It's good. So we all, and it just amplifies, and I guess you'd say, I don't know, compounds that investment back in the town. That just strengthens it.
Yeah. So talking about staff, how many staff how many staff work under the Halikos Group?
Oh, look, I wouldn't know the exact number, but I know it's pretty big. It'd be 200 plus, 250 plus. And
for you personally, I know that your staff out at those, because I've been out to your factory, absolutely great culture, great vibe when you walk in. A lot of those guys have been with you a long time. They have been a long time. So they're obviously turning up to work, not just for a paycheck. There's something else going on in your business. What is it?
Oh, look, each of my businesses, and I think the group's businesses, being diversified as well, they're their own families. That's how I see them, Chris. So I've got a family at NTF that I've grown up with for 20 years. I've got a family at Steeline for 15 to 20 years. I've got a family at Crabclaw that's been there with me for 6 to 7 years. And I guess, when someone's sick, we're all sick. When someone's away, or someone's not well, we're all not feeling well. So we kind of have a culture there where we all do it together and we group together. And each of those families has a goal or has a target for a new truck or a new boat at Crabclaw or a new, van at NTF, and we work towards it as a collective. And that's the secret, is having these awesome groups of families working together, and they're all interlinked.
Yeah, I was really, really impressed with your staff. Incredible, mate. So here's a really left field one for you. And I know you're not really, I asked you before, politics of any interest to you. Your eyes rolled around in the back of your head, none at all. But what is a hot button for you in local government? Like, in other words, what is something that you'd love to champion that our local government of the day is a priority for them?
I guess with local government, as long as a taxpayer and a person that's working here his whole life and going to stay here his whole life working and reinvesting, I just like to see, again, and we do see it, and we just want to see more of it, obviously, and is the reinvestment of whatever is being spent here. That's all. You know, if you see products and services being purchased internationally or from down south that can be I guess purchased here or sourced here, that would be an area that can only strengthen. You know, those dollars coming back in here don't just benefit a wage when you're purchasing from down south. Or they can be cheaper at times, I understand, but the benefits of that purchase or that dollar being spent here, and government know this and they're doing a good job of that, only means that it amplifies that dollar into 5 or 6 different areas, not just, you know, a cheaper product or a cheaper service and just a wage. You're looking at it going into a business, could be events, for example, and that dollar is spent, you know, by renting a property or buying a property, and not just hiring staff, but your GST stays here. Your reinvestment into a home or something for your kids or a car for your daughter then gets spent here through, you know, car yards here. So that'll all trickle down.
Well, I was I was totally engrossed then, so I'm sitting here listening going, oh, this is good, I should be taking notes. So listen, I'm one thing I'm going to really digress here is, why is it, and forgive me why is it so tough to negotiate with a Greek?
It's not tough.
It is.
It's not tough.
It is.
I don't say, I don't know. We're good at negotiating. We're good at getting our way. I don't know.
You must have grown up with
We've
those
grown up
skills.
with it, with our, you know, I guess negotiating with our parents from young. You know, as a young Greek growing up, I guess we have to negotiate with our parents regularly to be able to do stuff, go out, get married, you know, leave the house. We're not really allowed to till you're married in most, you know, in most family cultures. So we're pretty good at negotiating from very young and having those discussions and meeting halfway. My kids do it all the time. All the time.
All right, so now that I've learned how to negotiate, I've got to get more of a Greek heritage. So tell me, what is a common mistake that you see a lot of Northern Territory businesses, because you've been here a long time, what's a common mistake we all make?
Oh, look, it's not a mistake, it's just a byproduct, I believe, personally. I've got a lot of customers. You know, 500, 600 live accounts. So I deal and speak to my customers on a daily basis, and I get to know what each one's doing and what's going right for them, what's going wrong for them. I guess a common mistake or a trap that they can get led into accidentally or by product of people that hang around is negativity. I'm a very positive person, as you know, Chris, just like yourself, but a lot of my customers get caught up in somebody else's bad situation or somebody else's bad story or somebody else hearing he's not getting paid or that's not coming off from that grant or government's not investing this way. And I think negative people tend to, or negative, you know, stories tend to affect business and confidence. Yeah. And Darwin's a small town, we all talk. And I think I understand bad stories or negative stories, and I'm 100% listen to them because you learn. I personally believe we should be listening and learning to why he or that company went under and what led to that. I think that's better. And I think if you can learn from that, then the positive situation come out for you to avoid that situation. So a lot of people my customers get really negative, and I think that's the biggest shortfall in these guys.
Is that a small town that we all know each other and we all have a whinge, or?
Could be. It could be just the fact that, you know, they're sitting all at the same coffee shop or in that same environment when it's raining and no one's out on the tools that can't work. So they hear one person's negative story or a story about somebody else, and then everyone collectively takes that home with them, and it's a bit of doom and gloom. Yeah. You know? I reckon
there is a genuine positivity in our market at the moment about supporting local and buying local like I've never seen before.
100%.
It is fantastic.
That's national, I believe, not just Darwin, but it's really good.
Speaking about positive, is there, and I always like to talk about other businesses, and, you know, is there another business in Darwin that you've been super impressed with And I don't know, for whatever reason, it's not a loaded question, but is there someone that you look at and go, wow?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm just watching, and you see the things coming up on the awards and on the news and LinkedIn and stuff. And I've always been impressed with HPA, Tony Burns, watching him and his wife, how everything's been. I guess I'm impressed with their diversification.
Yep.
How they've every year or every couple of years moved into another product, another service. They've already got a fantastic model and service they provide in what they do, Chris, but I like the way they diversify into different things. I've watched it over the last 10 years evolve into so much more, with more than just furniture and more than just, these things. And I like that. I model my products around that. I diversify every couple of years into new products as well. It's a strength.
We've had Tony on the program. He's bright as a button, but I did think you were going to say me, Tony, then. But anyway, that's okay. I was getting ready to, but no, that's okay. Hey, listen, what gets Tony Halikos out of bed? What makes you tick? Where does this energy come from to support and buy local?
That's being born and bred here, mate. That's
because you went to school here.
Yeah. Went to school here, born here. Oh, that's basically being part of this town. That's listening to my dad's stories, and my dad pushed that, spend your dollars locally. You can always buy a car cheaper elsewhere if you really, really wanted to, for $500 or $1,000. He goes, no, you spend that dollar locally, you buy that forklift locally, and I guess for me the tick is to, see my friends or my business, I guess customers or people that I know in the industry I've been doing for how many years now. And what makes me get up and do it all for it is my family. You do it for your family. And your family, my family isn't just my wife and kids who support me and they're brilliant, they're amazing. It's my family at work. It's the people I spend even more time with my own family. That's the reason you get up.
Speaking of family, I know you got a great relationship with your old man, and you were right. I mean, I work behind the scenes in the events sector, and I would say I don't think there is another brand that support more local events than your dad, and he does it a lot of the times anonymously.
100%.
He doesn't let a lot of people know. So if we're seeing visibly that you're at a lot of events, he's amazing. But what's one of the things you've learnt from your dad?
I've learned lots from Dad. Some good and bad habits, but I guess look after your staff, look after the people around you. Yeah. He's always said, surround yourself with the best possible people in that industry or that business, and you'll always have success. And don't try to do it all yourself. You need to have good people with you. And Dad's always been I guess his philanthropy has been amazing. It's always been about giving back, helping people. He's always said, help where you can help, or benefit where somebody you can help, in a way, wherever you have the capacity or the ability to do so. He's always, if there's a charity or a sporting event or community organisation, donate that roof, or I don't know how many churches Dad's donated roofs to. He's really big on that.
It's funny. I'm building a church at home. He's welcome to donate to my church.
To put your boat in.
Put my boat in there. Hey, listen, it's been awesome. I've got to say, completely left field. One of the things that I've learnt from you, because I was actually there right in the beginning when your beautiful wife made a decision to marry you. You made a very good choice. She's amazing. But you've taught me how to cook. You've taught me how to eat. My doctor, last time I saw him, he said, Chris, you've got too much meat in your system. Your cholesterol's going through the roof. All I could think of was Tony Halikos.
I cook it, you eat it. It's not my fault.
Hey, let's finish with 10 fast questions. What's your favourite fishing spot?
Crab claw with the kids.
Crab claw with the kids. Favourite fish to eat?
Parrotfish on the charcoal.
Okay. Favourite restaurant?
Super Pizza with the family.
Super Pizza. Favourite charity?
Camp Quality.
Camp Quality. Now, here's a big one. Your wife's favourite hair salon?
Don't know the name of the business, but it's Calatina Codas. I know that.
And your barber?
Couple of them. They're really good. They're cheap. $10.
What's your favourite place to visit in the NT?
Oh, Daly River. It's beautiful.
Daly River.
No phone reception.
Favourite dry season event?
The Glenty.
The Glenty. And are there any plans for your kids to work in the business?
There'll always be plans and provisions, just like my dad did. I probably won't be as forceful. I'll let them do what they want to do first. And if it doesn't work out, they'll always have something to fall back on with Dad.
And I always ask this one, who's the easier to employ, men or women?
Both. They're both easy. They're both easy.
Come on.
No, they're both easy.
Very good. Hey, listen, just quickly, if you obviously employ a lot of people, but what are the 3 qualities that you're looking for when you employ someone? What are you looking for in an individual?
I guess the most important is, you don't know that straight away, you kind of get that vibe, is loyalty, because you're going to show them, I guess, the secrets to your success or the methods to your madness. Positive, they've got to be really positive. If you have someone that's in your employment that is a negative person and always head down, you're going to be head down. The people around them are going to be head down. So 100% has to be positive. And I guess, last but not least, would need to be somebody involved with the community. I've always had people involved in my businesses that's got a community, I don't know, they're attached to a community organisation or a community event or a charity of some capacity. They have connection to more people and they see themselves working with me, and then they can go help, their community group and work together. They got a lot of people they know. It works out in a much more favourable manner.
Mate, honestly, thank you for coming on. I know we're neighbours, I know we're mates, but I've learned a lot from you in your business. You've got an incredible culture out there at the factories, and I mean, I don't need to congratulate you, but for you, the individual, you're a fantastic asset for us in the community. We're very lucky to have you up here in the NT, mate. Thank you for coming on, and I need a fishing trip, brother.
Absolutely, for you. Anytime, Chris.
You're awesome. Thank you, Tony.